I liken this to the beginning of the drive-through. We're in those days of kiosk where it's not just about getting an order into the kitchen, but how can we create something new?
Hello and welcome from the Nasdaq market site. I'm Jarrett Banks of IPO Edge. Joining me today is the CEO of Byte, Brandon Barton. Brandon, give us the origin story of Byte and tell us about it.
Yeah, so thank you for having us here. So Byte was started by my two co-founders, and they would constantly go to restaurants and places that they would frequent often and not be recognized, or maybe places that they would order their ramen or pizza a specific way, and then the restaurant wouldn't know. And so they thought the idea of putting digital ordering inside the restaurant could help solve this, help people to be recognized and to make recommendations to them that would be worthwhile. When I ended up meeting them and speaking to them, I had just come off of a couple of years of working with a great company in Resi. Before that, with Union Square Hospitality Group in restaurant operations, and I gave a call over to the Shake Shack team who was using kiosks at the time, and I knew some folks at McDonald's as well. And if McDonald's and Shake Shack are doing something in this industry, you know it's probably directionally correct. And so, joined their team and was able to take the company from, just a fledgling startup into a really rapidly growing company today.
Great. Now, there's an ongoing debate in the restaurant industry about technology taking over, but you're not actually replacing humans, are you?
No. The reality is that technology has to help the restaurants to operate more efficiently, right? Restaurants can no longer take more price. We are in a moment where most big publicly traded restaurant brands are talking about value much more than they're talking about growing their price or taking price from the customer. And so the only way to then also compete with growing food costs and labor costs is to use technology to help become more efficient. So this is not replacing labor, this is helping people become more efficient. We have great stories from some of our brands that are very drive-through focused. And what that does actually is it makes employees of the restaurant turn to the left and be facing that outside window. So if you actually are somebody who parked your car and walked in, you see a bunch of people side or back. The kiosk allows the guests to walk in and see something welcoming to come and place that order. And then the hospitality part of it comes thereafter when you're getting your food with a smile. Can I get you anything else? There's something, and being able to help people when they're in the dining room as well. So this is just there to help restaurants to operate a little bit more efficiently and take some parts of the experience that are not hospitality driven out of it, like just ordering. Everyone knows how to order. We do this on our phones every day, so makes sense to be able to take that part out.
So it's just one less thing for employees to have to think about. They can focus more on the customer.
That's right. Focus more on the customer, focus more on the production of food. Nobody goes into a QSR, a fast casual restaurant. I mean, it's called fast casual for a reason. You don't want to be there for 20, 30 minutes if you want to grab your food and go. So speed is as important to that guest as value is, as hospitality is. This is not for a multi-course fine dining restaurant to be ordering off a screen. That's not the point. But speed is inherently part of the value that you're getting in an experience like this, and Byte helps to make that speed happen.
Now you're in over 1,300 locations. Give us some of the highlights. Who are these customers?
Yeah, I mean, we work with big and small, publicly traded, not publicly traded. Recently we've had a lot of success with brands like Portillo's, who actually within the third quarter had went from just a couple stores to a lot more. They saw the success of the product straight away. Can't get into the details on the numbers, but certainly understanding that they're meeting their customers where they want to be. So there are customers still that walk up and order from an incredible Portillo's employee, but some that might go to a kiosk. We have other brands that are smaller that have rolled us out everywhere. Sprinkles Cupcakes was something that people recognize, very innovative brand. They've put up those big vending machines for cupcakes in the airports, which I love. But in their restaurants, our product team has actually created technology to make your dozen cupcakes and the toppings that go on it. So as you're building your box, you can actually see it happen live, which just creates a funner experience for folks.
Great. Now, I'm from Chicago. I've been to Portillo's. I've used the kiosk. Great experience, great
Yeah,
company.
thank you.
But tell us a little bit about how AI plays into what you do.
Yeah, we have been utilizing AI and machine learning since 2017, since my incredible co-founder Stas Nikiforov has created a machine learning algorithm that helps to do the thing that they set out to do, which was to create great recommendations and to remember who you are. So there's a couple ways that we do that. Can't get it too deep into the secret sauce, but fundamentally, if you take thousands and millions of orders and understand the correlation between drinks and entrees or sandwiches, right, in certain cases, you can make better suggestions to the guests, which leads to them spending a little bit more, but happily spending more. I'll give another example. It's been unseasonably hot in New York, and if you just used historical data, you'd probably be selling soup today, and it's 70 degrees, and you probably should be selling ice cream. And so our AI is looking at not just local and regional trends for that brand, but across our whole system to understand what's going on in the Northeast. Okay, it looks like these items are selling better. Let's make sure to recommend these. We understand that certain items are cold, certain items are hot, and again, leads to a 20 to 25% increase in average check that the guest likes and enjoys spending.
Great. Now, just turning to some numbers, you recently completed a Series A for $9 million. What are you going to be investing in?
Yeah, and we have been investing in. We're in the phase of Kiosk 2.0. 1.0 was really making sure that a piece of technology works for the guest, it's on all the time, gets the order into the kitchen the same way a cashier might. 2.0 is bringing this to the next level. We need to create new experiences in this new medium. I liken this to the beginning of the drive-through in the 50s. I think it was Ray Kroc, McDonald's doing the drive-through. And we're in those days of kiosk where it's not just about getting an order into the kitchen, but how can we create something new, an experience like seeing your cupcakes built into a dozen box, or doing a secret menu, or taking local celebrities and putting their items the way they like on your menu. So static menu boards, even digital menu boards, don't give you the opportunity to have an interactive experience the same way that a self-service kiosk does.
All right. How do you separate yourself from competitors out there?
Yeah, there's a couple things. I think we touched on two of them already, which is the algorithm that creates recommendations that people love to order. That's important. You never want to be in a situation in which you're asking and pushing for guests to buy things that they don't want, and maybe they walk out saying, I planned to spend $15 and I spent $22. I'm never going back there, right? Everyone knows that feeling of getting the bill and understand, I don't know what just happened, but it doesn't feel good to me. So making recommendations that people want, very important. Sometimes, obviously, that leads to an increase overall in the average check. That separates us. We are much better than any of the other companies and competitors that we have in increasing that average check, as well as the guest experience scores. Secondarily, we care more about hospitality than anybody in the industry. My background is in restaurants. Many of our team members' backgrounds in restaurants. What that translates to is product that is going to help guide a customer experience, this unique customer experience that leads to happiness as they leave, right? And so, as I mentioned, things like a secret menu, things like recognizing a person just by them scanning their loyalty and putting their name there. What if the orders that they've had on the app, they maybe order from a restaurant's app, come in and those orders are here, so you can have it exactly the same way as you ordered when you were at your house, right on the kiosk. All of these things are possible with a digital ordering experience in store. And so we're trying to bring this Kiosk 2.0 to life, where it is enhancing the guest experience, not just augmenting the employees.
Very cool. Last question. We're here in the fourth quarter, staring at 2025. What are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about many publicly traded restaurant brands talking about getting to 100% digital. What this will unlock for consumers is, leading off what I just said, understanding who that person is, so that when they walk into your restaurant, you can serve them better. You may have been to many Portillos, but sometimes you're walking into a new one for the first time. It would be lovely if your history would follow you along and they know exactly the way you like your Italian beef or anything that you order from them. So this journey to 100% digital is the way that we're going to serve guests better and in a much more scalable way across the nation. So
All
I'm
right,
excited about that.
fantastic. We'll leave it there. This has been Brandon Barton, the CEO of Byte. I'm Jarrett Banks, signing off from the Nasdaq market site.